Hello. I thought I would just come on here and introduce myself. That is, I'd like to make an introduction of myself and explain why I am doing this YouTube channel and what are my intentions and what brought me inspiration, basically. So my name is Lara. I'm from Croatia and I'm currently living in the capital city of Zagreb. I grew up in Qatar, where I spent about 16 years of my life, so basically my whole childhood. And then I moved back here to go to university and began my adult life and stayed in Croatia since then. I go on a lot of trips and I travel a lot, and it's something, I guess, that when you grow up as an expat, that it stays with you, or that is that you learn how to travel, and it kind of just does stay with you and you continue traveling. So I continue traveling in my adult life, and I just expanded the ways I travel, of course, and I learned how I like to travel. So how I travel is by going with a close group of friends, my family, or by myself. It all depends on the kind of trip I'm going on, and it all depends on the situation. Like, for example, the Oman trip was a 10-year reunion trip that happened, and with one of my friends that lives in New Zealand, with a childhood friend, we organized the trip together and we made it happen to go to Oman. So we combined forces, her from New Zealand and me from Croatia. We just combined forces and made it possible to go to Oman. So I like those kinds of trips, those humble trips. I also have a lot of previous footage that's in my archive that I want to do something with, because I was an adventure tour guide for some time. I would take people, not only adventure though, I was a tour guide where I would lead people around Croatia. Sometimes it was on a boat, sometimes it was on land, and sometimes it was on a river. And through that, I have developed a lot of footage. Some of it I have lost, sadly, but that's all good. I can create more footage. And with all that footage, I just want to create some videos and see if I understand and know and can learn and have that possibility inside of me to create a movie out of that footage, to create a story and to be able to portray that story to other people. I use a GoPro Hero 11 and I've been using it for about 2 years, and I'm still learning exactly how it functions. Because as I go on different adventures, as I go on different activities, and as life happens, I'm using it at different states and different sorts. And now, at this moment in time, I've come to the conclusion that I would like to invest myself more into footage, whether that be videography, photography, whatever it is. I want to invest myself more into it. And that's what I hope to also open up some doors with the YouTube channel, to learn how to function, how cameras function and how footage functions in general. Because as the footage functions, you actually see that stories get created out of the pictures that you take and out of the adventures that you go on and the trips, and you can actually combine it to create a film, to create a movie, to create a short clip, whatever it is, something can be created out of it. And I didn't realize I had an interest in that up until now, up until I started learning up until I went on to a great trip, Oman. Oman was a massive inspiration for me, and since then, I've had this development going on in my mind that wants to work on the technique and skills of post-production. I see a lot of nature, and I try to spend as much time as I can in nature, and all in the sense of that I want that to be my main work. I want that to be my main flow and my main interest. So I go and I film nature. I love to see remote places. I'd love to see more remote places and more unique happenings that occur. The phenomenon of how when, for example, just because I've watched this, not in real life, for example, when an iceberg falls down, when it just melts, birds singing a song that you don't regularly hear, some animals just walking about minding their own business. I would love to see those kinds of things, and I would love to do it in a more humble way, in a more down-to-earth way, where I don't forget about my roots or that society exists. I want to remember that society exists. So yeah, I'm going to be videoing everything that I do. That is not everything that I do. I'm going to be videoing a lot of content, I hope, about nature and about what goes on around my life. And this might turn into my story. This might just be some footage put together. This might be my archive. I don't know, but I'm excited to see what kind of doors I can open this way. That's also another reason why I'm starting this, is because I want to see what kind of doors I can open, where it can lead me, as I've said before, as I've said earlier, that is, I just want to see where I'm going to go. And yeah, hope you're going to find this interesting. That's it. Thanks. Peace.